evening since you left Greenglade, you have looked at Goren's books and tried to prize out the knowledge that they hold. But now, you must admit to yourself that you can't decipher them. They are written in the learned language for high magi, and Lot Yonan didn't teach you that. However, you're sure that the books are important. Why else would Goren want them sent to Turga the Fair-Faced? You put them away with a sigh, and your eyes remain on the bag that Lot Yonan gave you. Did Goren ask Lot Yonan to return the magical artifacts in the pouch? You pick up the pouch and look at it.
Lot Yonan forbade me from opening the pouch.
The hamlet of Sungird certainly lives up to its name. You arrive as the sun sets behind the tower of a Palandio temple, lighting up its stained glass. There's a shop in the village, and through the window, as well as some everyday objects and food, you also spy a shelf full of books. A small bell rings as you enter the shop. The twins look around, but seem rather disinterested, until they discover a couple of gemstones on display. On the wall to your left is the bookshelf you saw through the window. It's quite unusual for a village shop to sell books. You stroll towards the bookshelf and read some of the titles written on the spines of the books. You know many of the works from Lot Yonan's library.
Oh, by fracas, look, dear brother! The scholar really is looking at books!
It's an interesting selection, Boindil. I could make some recommendations for you.
Boindil throws his arm around your shoulder and pulls you slowly away from the bookshelf.
What if someone sees you? Here, this is more our kind of thing.
You follow him reluctantly and are shown the selection of gemstones. Just like previous nights, you are haunted by the image of the elf maiden nailed to the tree in Greenglade. You wake from your sleep and look around you. The night is unusually dark. Despite your good dwarven eyes, you can only make out Boendal's outline, even though he's keeping watch only a few steps away. You're about to lie down again, but suddenly feel something cold against your throat. Next to you, the pale face of an elf slides into view.
Good evening. I'm afraid we missed each other in Greenglade, so my companion had to receive you on her own.
You want to speak, but the blade is pressed against your larynx, and you can only manage a wheeze.
Shush. You don't need to talk. I'm not going to kill you. Not yet. Do you know what I'm going to do instead?
You feverishly search for an answer, but you can't even imagine how an Alfar thinks.
I will kill everyone who means anything to you. I will destroy your life, and you will sink into hopelessness, groundling. Your downfall is called Synthoras.
You tense your muscles, readying to defend yourself, but suddenly realize that the blade against your throat has disappeared. You look around, astonished. The elf is nowhere to be seen. You look over to Boendal, who is easy to recognize in the bright moonlight. Next to you, Boindil smacks his lips in his sleep. You touch your throat, and when you don't feel anything, you breathe out, relieved.
Just a nightmare.
At least that's what you tell yourself. But you don't close your eyes for the rest of the night. You reach Parista and go straight to the seat of the Council of Magi. A worried and grim-looking guard bars your way.
Sorry, we are not to let anyone into the palace.
The guard looks around nervously.
Lightning bolts. A couple of days ago. Not like in a storm, but in all the colours of the rainbow. On the next day, we were told that the Magi had all departed again, and Master Nudin was not to be disturbed. No one has been allowed in the palace since then. Not even us.
The report of lightning bolts doesn't particularly worry you. On the contrary. If the Magi have travelled back to their kingdoms, it can only mean that they were able to reinforce the barrier. You are eager to hear Lot Yonan's account in the vaults. Tungdil unwraps his dwarf cheese again and cooks it on the fire. When he offers you a piece, you take it.
I knew we'd make a dwarf of you in the end.
You chew on the cheese so you don't have to answer. It tastes better than you first thought. Once again, you reach the crossroads and the Stone Sheep Tavern. You walk to the nearest empty table with the twins in tow and sit down. The landlord comes out from behind the bar and walks over to your table. He gives a narrow smile.
Good to see you again. What can I get you today?
We're tired and long for a proper bed.
Of course, gentlemen.
You spend a restful night in the tavern and then head off on your way again. The inhabitants of Clute Meadow are busy at work in the village and the surrounding fields. They don't seem too worried about the armies of orcs that are prowling around, or they just don't know about them. You near Talborough, the capital city of Idislane, which nestles in a valley on the edge of the Misty Vale. In the city you hear that King Tilagorn and his cavalry have returned. You head to the parade grounds, where you see a broad-shouldered man, about 40 years old, inspecting a group of soldiers.
You are King Tilagorn, Lord of Idislane, aren't you? I have seen your portrait in books.
The tall man sounds you out, not unfriendly, but vigilant.
You are correct, my friend. This is the first time I have met an educated dwarf.
And it's the first time that I've met a king.
You reply, quick-wittedly, yet truthful. The king cannot help himself but smile.
You are clever and good with words. A sharp tongue is sometimes more valuable than a sharp axe in this world, and more dangerous.
We've fought against orcs in Axeldale and Goodwater.
Axeldale and Goodwater?
The king seems to ponder for a moment, as if he were searching for the names on an imaginary map of his kingdom. Finally, he nods.
How bad is it?
There were losses, but we defeated the orc armies, and both villages are safe again.
You defeated them?
The king sighs with relief, and it seems as though a heavy burden has fallen from his shoulders.
I'm glad to hear that. We were pressed to make it there on time. We rode for 4 days and 4 nights to get thus far. I didn't want to stop, but the horses needed rest, and we had to take the wounded to the capital after the orcs' onslaught.
Tilagorn takes a deep breath and breathes out calmly.
The good news is certainly welcome. Thank you very much, my friends.
You politely take your leave of the king. He promises to take care of the dead bodies in Axeldale and Goodwater, and from his determined expression, it is clear what he would do to any orc that comes too close to his army. The farmstead has been plundered, ravaged, and part set on fire. But not all of the buildings are destroyed. You call out for any survivors, but there is no answer. You split up and search for signs of life in the burned-out ruins of the farmstead. You take on the main building. You don't find anything, apart from a charred doll, and the twins have no luck either. There are no signs of life. With a heavy heart, you decide to turn around and continue on your way with the twins. As you near Calmstead, you see that the surrounding fields are in flames. The sound of fighting reaches your ears. You hear the screams of the villagers and the roar of the orcs.
Help! Let us out! There are still people in the houses!
Let's get them out of there, and quickly.
And what now? Pow! Another one bites the dust! I didn't hit you very hard! What is it?
Huh? On my way.
What is it? What now? I'm with you. On my way. What is it? And what now?
Huh? Yes?
Huh? Of course. What is it? Pow! Another one bites the dust. Yeah! And what now? Too easy.
Kill.
What is it?
Yes?
What is it?
Uh-huh. At once.
Huh? I didn't hit you very hard.
As soon as the last orc is killed, you and the twins free the remaining villagers.
It would seem the stories are true. Dwarves really are the best orc killers. We don't have much that we can offer you. Maybe we can rustle up some food.
I'm sorry, but we can't accept this.
We can't let you leave empty-handed. If you won't accept anything else, then at least allow us to prepare a feast for you this evening.
Your protests fall on deaf ears. The food is simple but hearty farmer's fare. The beer strong by human standards. And there's also dancing. You only really stayed on out of politeness. But you and the twins end up emptying tankard after tankard. The next morning, you set off again in good spirits and with full stomachs.
I don't like it here. All this hocus-pocus is bad news. Us dwarves know that and keep well away, just as Vracus commanded. I hope you know that too.
I cannot perform magic, and I've never attempted to.
Nevertheless, please show respect. Remember that it was Lot Yonan who took me in and saved me.
Now then, it would seem that the tongue of the learned one becomes somewhat haughtier, and his sentences doth wind most strangely as we verily approach the vaults.
You can't help but grin guiltily. With a beseeching glance at the twins, you step into the area in front of the vaults. Seeing no one there you might greet, you and your companions enter your old home through the open gate.
Who the hell built this tunnel?
Bowendahl examines the crumbling roof with a mixture of disbelief and indignation.
Be quiet. I want to surprise them.
Is that such a good idea? What if we give your master such a shock that he casts a spell on us? I don't want to be turned into a mouse or a bar of soap.
It is unusually quiet in the vaults, but the smell of dinner is in the air. You imagine Frala looking up at you from her cooking pot in the kitchen and smiling.
Ah, there's boiled and roasted meat for dinner. Come on.
That's no reason to go and get ourselves turned into something weird. We'll stay here until you're finished with your little game. Only longuns will build like this. They've cut through the strata with no concern for the veins. That's obvious, even to a warrior like me.
Oh, the warmth has dried out the strata and made them all crumbly. Even the wooden beams won't hold the roof up for much longer.
Tungdil, have you found your magus yet?
No, not yet. I'll keep looking.
Ikana isn't in her cradle. Where could Frala have taken her? Lumps of meat rise up and appear on the brown, bubbling surface of the soup before sinking back down out of sight. The hearty smell makes your mouth water.
A human foot?
Your stomach turns, and you have to fight hard against the impulse to run out of the kitchen screaming. You look around the workshop with growing panic. No one to be seen.
A couple of weeks ago, this anvil was my whole world. Now my world's a whole lot bigger. What happened here? Speak!
Ah, another one.
Don't even think of using magic, or I'll lodge this pretty piece of steel in your brain.
It takes the Famulus a few seconds to comprehend the situation he suddenly found himself in. He seems to weigh up his options for a moment before he breathes out and the tension leaves his body.
All right, I won't use magic.
What happened here? Where is everyone?
For a while, the Famulus seems to be playing with the idea of being stubborn. Bowendahl pushes a little harder on the end of the crow's beak, and the tip penetrates the skin. Blood seeps out.
They're gone. Dead.
A school full of magi destroyed without any signs of struggle? Lies.
The facts seem stacked against it, but you cling on to this faint hope.
Lot Yonan's famuli were already in Parista. There were only novices left. We made easy work of them. The Elfar, Syntharas, he insisted on being part of the raid after he found out that you grew up here. He opened the gates and killed most of those here before they even knew what was happening.
In your mind's eye, you see a pale face appearing from the darkness. You saw what Elfar are capable of in Greenglade. You push the thought to the back of your mind and try to keep a clear head.
Lot Yonan, where is he?
Nodon killed him. He killed all of them in Parista. There's no one left in Girdlegard who can take on the last Magus.
You're saying that someone took on all 6 of the Magi at once and defeated them? Ridiculous.
5 Magi. My master Nudin is Nodon the Doublefold, the Lord of the Perished Land and soon to be Lord of Girdlegard. He killed the masters, and the apprentices followed soon after. They're all gone, and he changed the magic field so that only we can use them.
An icy hand grabs your heart. It's impossible that there's only a single Magus left, and he's not fighting against, but for the Perished Land.
Why are you snooping around in Lot Yonan's study? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for artifacts that Lot Yonan, when he was in Parista, claimed he had forgotten and left in a cupboard, and for the books that were stolen from Greenglade. I'm guessing you're the dwarves that stole the books.
What does your master want with the artifacts and the books?
I don't know. He commands, we obey. He's going to be very displeased. I did find a bag in the cupboard, but it didn't contain the right objects.
I've had enough of your lies. They're alive. Lot Yonan escaped and has gathered his apprentices, Frala, and the others around him to fight against Nodon. We just have to find them.
The war was over before you even noticed it had begun. Nodon cannot be stopped. He is on his way here and will just...
Blah, blah. We will leave immediately. This news is of great importance to the Council of Dwarves.
I'm not going anywhere. I have to find my friends and
Orcs! Lots of them!
Yes?
And what now?
Huh?
Huh?
On my way.
Yes?
What is it?
Yes?
Huh? I didn't hit you very hard!
Huh?
What is it?
And what now? What is it?
I didn't hit you very hard!
Kill!
Yes?
And what now?
Again.
Yes?
Pow! Another one bites the dust.
What is it?
What is it?
He hardly put up a fight.
There are too many of them!
The side door in the workshop. It's our only chance.
I didn't hit you very hard!
What is it?
Huh?
What is it?
Huh? Yes?
Huh?
And what now?
What is it?
What is it? Of course.
Huh?
Huh? At once.
What is it?
Again.
And what
Yes.
now?
On my way.
Huh? All right.
Huh? Damn.
The first 20 are mine!
You have come far, but this is far enough. Give me the artifacts and the books you stole in Greenglade, and I'll set you free.
What's with the artifacts and the books?
They belong to me. Lord Yonan was supposed to bring them to Porista, but forgot them. So, I came to pick them up. That's all you need to know.
What have you done to the other Magi? Your famulus told us some cock and bull story about you forcing them and their famuli to go to Porista and then murdering them.
I did what had to be done to protect Girdlegard. I wish there had been another way. But they would never have understood.
Do your eyes deceive you, or do you really see a brief moment of real regret on the swollen face of the Magus?
You wanting my rucksack is enough reason for me not to give it to you.
I don't need your consent. Look after the rucksack. If you lose it, you will also lose your life. Go back to your realm, dwarves, and let your king know that I need his land. Either he hands it over without a drop of blood being spilt, or my troops and allies take it by force. You can take this one with you. I have no use for him.
Invisible wizard Maya!
Look!
Let me handle her. Kill the dwarves!
The rucksack! The artifacts! If he wants them so badly, they might be the key to his destruction.
There's the orc with the rucksack! Let's get him!
And what now?
Yes?
What is it?
What is it?
Uh-huh.
Bites the dust!
And what now?
Huh?
Yes?
Too easy! I didn't hit you very hard!
I've got the rucksack!
Waste of time.
Give me a hand!
Let's get out of
I
here!
didn't even
Over
take
the
off my
bridge!
gloves.
What is it?
Yes?
Uh-huh. Huh?
What a waste of time.
Huh? As good as done!
No chance.
What now?
Huh? Understood.
What is it?
Huh?
And I didn't even take off my gloves.
Kill!
No chance.
And what now?
Foul creature! Yes?
What a waste of time.
Uh-huh. At once.
What is it?
What is it?
Kill! Let's get out of here!
We're Retreat? We should fight on!
We would die! Perhaps you've noticed that Nodon has risen again, headless. He is more powerful than the Perished Land itself, but the key to his destruction is in here.
We will return to the Secondlings and tell them what the Magus is up to. We'll be safe at Ogre's Death, and there we can hatch a plan.
If we manage to get there. Nodon will do anything to stop us.
Then let him try!